Azor.
You are now tapped in with Hood in the Morning. Calling now.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. See, if that's not the realest shit in the world, I don't know what is. Peace to the family. Today I don't have anything really planned or prepared. I was really coming live just to see if I can get any feedback from the family of like what's going on with y'all or the types of things that's happening in the world. I mean, the things that's happening in Columbus or the things that's happening with me is one thing, but I felt compelled to kind of come on live and just have a conversation. And even if that conversation is with one person or two people, however the case may be, I done talk all that I could talk. I really don't have anything else to really say. Just want to working on a new moon video for this next week and a new moon meditation. And the shifts of energy have been quite weird, but for me, I'm taking it all in stride, taking it one day at a time, remaining to be spiritual, and just my family's still intact, and really figuring out like this love principle. And let me move this mic closer. Peace, peace, peace. So I have the instructions on the chat, and I'll put them back on the chat. So anybody that wants to tap in, feel free to do so. And hold on. And I see Ra on there, and I don't know if your mic is on, fam. Like I know you on the Zoom, but it just I don't have no way to hear you, bro. So if you could figure that out, turn your mic on, because they have like an option where you can turn your mic on and do that, and we can actually build, bro. God. And yeah, today is more laid back, chill vibe Fridays. Like I'm trying to figure out, get a pulse on this whole type of situation. Like I've been doing some research, and I got more videos and things of that nature coming up in the future. But as of today, it's just Hood in the Morning for real, tapped in for real. So please tap in with me. Let me know what's going on, family. This is the call in version. I'm gonna put the Zoom link, and I'm gonna also put a number that people could call. So yes, y'all. And then on the chat, what's going on with y'all? Even if y'all don't want to tap in via the Zoom application, please let me know what's going on with y'all. What's some things that interest y'all? Maybe putting some messages out there. Like, what is the I put out the video about the zombie apocalypse, and please don't tell me that the people done turned into zombies and things of that nature. Like, come on now, what's going on? What's the topic? What's the 411? What's the information going on across the nation? You know, is it the same old stuff? You know, but yeah, last yesterday I seen people were trying to get on, and I probably jumped the gun too soon, and I clicked off the video too fast. So today I said I'm gonna be patient and just kind of wait and let people go through the process. Sometimes people have to download the app and things like that. So be sure the purpose of this video for people who just now getting on the live is to really tap in. I really don't have anything prepared, nothing really to talk about. I haven't done any research today, or the moon is still in Capricorn. I feel like the moon been in Capricorn all week, and the weather's been weird. In Ohio, it's been straight cloudy, no sun, all rain. Last night was a thunderstorm. It was real powerful though. I was up really just observing and just feeling the vibrations and the energy of the thunder, and just absorbing all of that energy, and just realizing that things are going to change for the better. But maybe this actual modality of change is just the scary part. And then what I also did, which the reason why I'm not really talking about nothing, is because I started to look at some of my old videos and some of my old content, and was really scared and was really blown away by the conjunction of Saturn and Pluto. So Saturn and Pluto, that conjunction in retrograde, I actually had it with money and things of that nature. Like, it was centered around money and the tides turning. And I wrote this article in 2019. And then today I'm looking at it like, wow, that really, really came to pass, and the destruction of the old guard and the creation of the new guard and what's taking place. A lot of this thing seemed like fantasy at the time I was writing it, and I felt it, but to see these things actually come to pass and understand that this world we're living in is a very different world and a very different time. It's just like, what now and what next? So peace to the family. Please tap in. Please join me. Yeah, Pluto came through with the fire, um, as well as Saturn, because Saturn is a planet that actually helps us out when it comes to ordering and structuring our life. And that order and structure of our life needed a reset. So when it conjunct Pluto, it actually reset the actual modality for how all of us look at life, how we proceed with life. And then now we're about to see what we're going to do with it. Because after this global reset, you can still continue to do dumb shit, or you can actually, like, this was a wake up call, for everyone to really, this is not the end of the world yet, but it was what we would call a dress rehearsal. So it's about to rain over here. Like, yeah, it's been raining all night, Dream. Like, last night, it was just like one of those things where I'm just like sitting there and I'm just like, wow, this is crazy. Like, it was not even reminding me of that Fleetwood Mac song, Dreams. When the rain washes clear, that's what it felt like. I felt like it was straight witchy vibes. I had the black candle finishing up, and it was just the candlelight and a thunderstorm, and man, it felt magical. It felt powerful. I felt like I don't know what's happening, but I don't need to know what's happening. So at this point in time, it's about realizing that we don't know what's happening as opposed to imagining that we do. So it's good to be wise. Shout out to Dream. Yeah, but yeah, No doubt, energy. It ain't really about forcing anything, because it's like we can't force it. The energy is kind of forced upon us to restructure and reorganize our lives. That's just what it is, you know. And if we're not in that space and we're just in the space of just kind of just doing the same old, it's impossible to do the same old. It's literally impossible. People have been going to work every day for the past 30 years and got their goddamn pink slip, you know? And you can't even feel sorry for yourself about the whole situation because it's happening to everybody. So if the situation is happening to everybody, that's when the spiritual community comes in with resources and support, psychological support, letting people know that it's not the end of the world. I always talk about how every time I was doing readings for people in the past 2, 3 years, I'd be telling people how, you know, I see you got that job going and that job is going great, but that shit gonna come to an end. You gonna have to start doing more spiritual shit. And they look at me like, I don't see it happening. Now you see it, right? Now you see it. Now you see it. Power versus force. I think that's a deep concept, you know. Really summoning the power, really absorbing the power. But then again, I understand the power of force too. The power, can we have power and force as being sentient beings, as being beings that control the population, that control the world, that control the universe at this point? You know, I think people really don't understand the power of quantum mechanics and how it relates to them. They think quantum mechanics is some highly scientific shit, when the reality is that the smallest ways of consciousness that we could actually get to is actually the ways that we can make the biggest changes in our lives. So when you reference power and force, you probably referencing one of the stronger aspects of our consciousness. Yo, DA, chilling. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure that you coming in on the. Okay. All right. What's going on, bro? Is it?
Take advantage of it, and some people are not, man. And this happened personally, so I just wanted to, put that, speak to your message, and really just confirm that it's really happening, and I see it happening in people's lives, and I can see people really getting caught up in the hype of everything, and then it's like I'm looking at my life, and I'm like, damn, the people who really are going along with this energy, and it's like, dang, well, there's a lot of positive things happening as well.
It is, bro. And it's kind of like one of those things that we was always waiting. We was always waiting for these actual moments to take place, and now that they actually here, is low key surreal.
Right, right. It is surreal, man, because it's like people getting eliminated and opportunities are coming, and it's just like, man, like to be in a time like this where, I see people just they're so focused on the coronavirus, and I'm just like, well, or the Kobe as you would call it, um, they so focused on that they're really missing like this is the opportunity now to really build on yourself. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to come out of this two, 3 times, 4 times stronger than before, versus everybody gonna be at home, not really doing anything. So, but yeah, I just yeah, that's what I was calling about. Just wanted to build on the energy that you've been building on all week.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you. And y'all don't know, this is my cousin, like my blood cousin. Like we've been in the we've been in the trenches together. Like is my this is like my brother. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying. Well, people say we cousins or whatever the case may be, but we family. And this spiritual journey is one of those things where like everybody in our family don't vibrate on this level, but you know, a couple of us do, and because of that, we able to continue this conversation and communication, not only on uh spiritual hotep internet level, but we can trace it. Me and Da, we can look at our ancestry, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah,
page by page.
exactly. Exactly. That's important, man. Just like, paying homage to the ancestors, our power really comes from that, man. So I know we already know we done been through every school of knowledge, and what's so cool is where we done progressed, where we came from and where we progress now. It's like it's really a beautiful thing to sit and to listen and to apply. So man, everybody listening, man, just stay tapped in because I see the subconscious community is only gonna keep growing and just keep getting bigger, man.
No
For
doubt,
sure.
man. It's definitely a
Um,
powerful time, bro. I appreciate you calling in, Da. You said you working from home and everything like that, working out smooth for you.
Man, bruh, the CEO of the company put out a boastful email like, "Yeah, we were prepared for this. Nobody's jobs in jeopardy. We're paying for your internet at home now. We're paying for cell phones. Like, if I need to leave, no, man, it's really a beautiful situation, So I'm just kind of, it just makes me feel good, being that our story, bro. so, so coming from the struggle to like, damn, like it's a crisis, and I'm actually gonna be able to come out on top of all of this. I know everybody can't say that in the country right now, so I know it's a bigger purpose behind that. So that's why I'm just really trying. I'm just giving it up to the spirit, the ancestors, and about to really just stay focused on what's necessary and what's important.
No doubt, cuz man. And I appreciate you
For
for
sure.
calling in, man.
No doubt. I had to, bro, because I know you. I know it's only right, bro. But and I'm into the book right now. I'm into the book right now. If y'all ain't, if y'all haven't got astrology explained, please go and support the brother because it's a momentous work. And please do. We don't have too many in our community. We don't have too many scholars, or I would say, scholarship is an important thing. Literature, that's what really lives a testament to time. So if you got people in your community that are creating literature that's going to be around that we can use for ourselves and for our children, we got to support that. More so than we would support these entertainers in Hollywood and these movies. Like that shit really don't do nothing for us at all.
Powerful, bro. That's powerful.
For sure.
That's powerful.
For real, bro. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, dog. But you already know, bro. We talk about this all day, but
for
I'm
sure.
let some other people call in, dog.
All right. Thank you, Da, for
But yeah,
calling in,
y'all have
bro.
a good day.
You too, man. Peace
No
out.
problem, bro.
Yep.
Peace.
Peace. Shout out to Da. That's my cousin. That's my grandmother's brother's son. So you know how we get down. That's family. And so that happens, like I said, throughout this whole spiritual journey, you might be focused in on like your family members and those close to you. Um, there are going to be people in your family that resonate with you, and there are going to be people in your family that don't resonate with you. Understand that out of the less comes many, and less is more. And there's like a secret society or a cabal within families where those small few of people hold the real spiritual power or the legacy. And you got to really understand who you are in the grand scheme of things. and then understanding your teammates. It ain't going to be everybody because that don't make sense, but the couple of people that's in your squad, that's in your circle, build with them, communicate with them, talk to them, continuously be open to them, listen to them, because when it comes to this world, you deal with people who you don't know, and that's a beautiful thing, to meet new people. But then it's always them tried and true. You need those tried and true mugs around you as well. So a nice combination and nice balance of that, you know, help you get, you get a long ways. And in my life, a lot of my success, a lot of my happiness, a lot of it is due to my cousin Da and his relationship with me, and his relationships and how he lived his life and the things that I learned from him. So, it's just one of those things that it's a spiritual meaning and message for all of our relationships. And if we can simply pull those things out uh, bit by bit, piece by piece, we find meaning and purpose for our lives. So, I'm so grateful for a family. So grateful for family known and unknown at this point, because actually, as we deal with this future future world, that's going to be the only thing. It got rained on. It got rained on. Family, what's going on? I'm trying to see what's happening. Y'all not gonna call in. Y'all gonna keep it quiet. Is it too confusing for y'all to call in? Is that what it is, or y'all just don't got shit to say? I respect that. I respect it from both ways. But the purpose of this call is not for y'all to listen to me. My purpose for this call or this video was to listen to y'all. I had my listening ears up. I ain't want to be the one that was the one talking today. But however the cookie crumble, I'ma still eat it. So the equinox. The equinox is when the sun goes over the sun crosses over the east. The sun is aligned with the east in the celestial. To me, I don't really get into the equinoxes and things of that nature. People talking about it spring, but my reality is that spring happens next month. I'm not feeling the springtime energy quite yet. I still feel like we still in the metamorphical stages of growth. And that's just me being intuitive and Vedic and not really going into a system of thinking of it's the spring equinox. So because I seen it on the calendar, it's the spring equinox. And doing the, the astrological study, I find that this energy is going to shift and change in April. The conversations that we're having right now, we won't be having them in April. So this actual March new moon energy is still somewhat of a battle. The residual aftershocks of an earthquake. It's not completely a new time yet. And that could just be completely subjective for me. And you might be in your full blossom in spring today. I say to that. I just gotta catch up to you. I'm like 20, 21, 28 days behind in that thought, in that aspect. Uh-oh. Let's see what's going on. Blue Knight, you tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Who might I be speaking? Or I know I'm talking to Blue Knight. What's good? You there? Blue Knight. Not a red knight, but a blue knight. Cuckoo. Yo. Sabine. Gotta cut your mics on, family. We getting new. This is new. We just working the kinks out, family, and that's perfectly fine. Or do I got you muted? I got you stuck on the realness. Oh. Let me get y'all back in on the link The link is in the description, but however, I'll throw it in the chat one time. You got it's in my Google Docs. It's called invitation sheet, or you could just click the link in the description. It's that deja vu energy. I said energy. It's that deja vu time. My wife will bear witness. I'm gonna tell y'all how my day was yesterday. I called my grandma, and my grandma like, "Oh, your aunt is in Columbus." Like, mind you, my aunt and grandma live together, right? But I just thought of them, and she telling me like my aunt is in Columbus, so it means like I knew I had a sense like somebody was in town and things of that nature. What else happened where I was just I just felt very much psychically in tune. Oh, I was trying to express something to my wife and I couldn't find the words to express it. I wasn't eloquent enough. Like I just sounded mumbo jumbo as hell. And then my mother-in-law had called and was referencing something that my younger son had said, but it was exactly what I was trying to say. And it was and my son is like 400 miles away, so it was kind of one of those things where it was like my son picked up on what I was trying to say, conveyed it to my mother-in-law, compelled my mother-in-law enough to call us at the same time where I'm trying to communicate something, and it's just like it was just a beautiful thing. It was just a beautiful thing, these spiritual connections. Blue Knight, you not muted. Sabine, you not muted, but you might need to turn on your mic. All right. Blue Knight, I hear you. What's good?
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. You can we with you.
Ah, all right. Hello. This is Sabine.
Hi Sabine. Oh, you
Hi.
where are you at? You like in another country.
I'm across the planet. I'm in Denmark. Well, if just to give a picture, Hudson Bay, if you put like a pin in the middle of it, that's about like the latitude, sort of, but across the planet.
So Denmark, what's the word in Denmark?
It's actually it's shifted. We've had a lot of rain, just to speak about the weather. We've had a lot of rain the last month, and these past few days it's been sunny. So I thought I wanted to tap in and just send some windy sunniness from here. I'm
Right. 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 Mm-hmm.
but I actually had like something I thought I wanted to sort of share with you,
Please.
because
Please.
the Pleiades, they've been coming to me for the past few, like, intensively in my view in the star sky. Is it blowing too much wind? By the way, I'm outside. I could go inside.
You sound perfectly clear. It's just that you talk fast, so make
Oh,
sure
okay,
that we
sorry.
understand that what you're saying. I just want to be able to just simply understand what you're saying. That's all.
Of course, sorry. I'll slow down
Thank you.
because I think I
You
got sort of excited and
yeah,
nervous.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's good. That's good. But I just want to
And
be
hello
able
to
to
everybody else
receive.
listening
Sabine
in.
calling in from Denmark. Sabine is one of my good
Ah,
friends. We talked a few times, and the last time we talked, probably like 3 months ago, I felt like some
it's
spiritual things, right? And now we kind of in that space and time. So go ahead with your
because
share.
we've been running like across planet. We have, and with everybody else who's been tapped in, I've been feeling like a joint energy. And I think it was a few, like last week or something, you did. There was like a focus on mounts, and I was actually in my other practical life here going to mounts during those days, and had to miss a life because I was going to a mount. So when I tapped in after the life, I thought, well, we are still in sync some way. Ah,
Indeed, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
ah. And I have birthmarks on my body, and on the lower side of my arm, I have a series of birthmarks, which I always call the Little Dipper, because I didn't know the name of the constellation, the Pleiades, till like 2-3 years ago. I always called it the Little Dipper, and it resonates on my arm as birthmarks. And for this reason, it's always called my attention in the sky. And the past week, it's been calling my attention, and I actually had to look it up on Starlight to see it, because we've been having clouds at night. Am I still speaking too fast? Sorry.
Yo, you know you speaking perfectly fine. Pleiades, the birth star Pleiades on your lower arm, and it's been resonating very strong to you over this past week.
And I'm, because I've, in my awareness, I know I need to, like, when I hear things repeated around me in the ether, like from people or me tuning into videos, if there's something that repeats, I should be aware of it. And the Pleiades has been repeating, and also Taurus in Venus. And when I looked up at the skylight through this app yesterday, because I was like, who is this one shining so bright? Like, it's just like, it seems almost like a small moon in my consciousness looking at it.
Right.
And it was the Pleiades, and at the same time, because Venus will be moving into Taurus in April, I believe, also, isn't it?
Give or take, yeah. It's still in Aries. Well, no, actually, in April it will be in Taurus. Yes.
And this, I don't know, like, for some reason, I felt like drawing the attention to this, as to what you were just saying when I started trying to get onto the Zoom, because I don't know. I feel it has to do with the energy that we could all benefit from tapping into somehow in the midst of all these. I mean, here in Denmark, it's because I live where I live, which is on the northwestern side of a small mountain, which is not a mountain, but like a mound, really.
Right.
Halfway into the woods, so I'm quite secluded, and this whole what is this Chris Brown thing? It's sort of passing me by, but also
the Chris Brown is in Denmark. Hold up.
no, like, because I these days I get to watch TV only when I'm at work, which I enjoy. I get paid for it at least somehow, and I work as a social health care worker, which is like in practice a nurse kind of thing. And I was at work this weekend, and therefore the TV was running in the background, and I saw all these updates and political statements and everything being in shutdown. And then I walk home and I walk in my garden, and everything is coming out. It's not fully here. It's true. Spring is when it's like unfolded in its wings. It's not here.
Right.
It's too cold.
Right.
But things are coming, and so like the energy is sort of.
Right.
It just feels, it feels in opposite directions.
It's almost spring. Like, it's not spring. So I think the equinox is a misnomer for real to me. But then again, I know people got their kind of heart set on today being an equinox. And my thing would be, as you saying, when Venus transits into Taurus, when the sun transits into Aries, all of these things take place in April. And I would be, from an astrological level, I would be more looking forward to that.
Yeah, and for me, I just felt like putting my attention there, because when I walk around here in the manifest, because it's true, the equinox is just 12, meaning that there's balance, but we need more than just balance for things to bloom, as opposed to night and day. And for, like, in my part of on the map, it literally means like now I feel the light coming, and I've been feeling the light, but now it's only just beginning to take effect of the light coming.
Right. And so when we talked earlier in the year, was it this year or last year? I'm feeling like it was
earlier this. Well, kind of a constant, right? It was beginning of February, I think.
The beginning of February. It feels like 5 years ago.
Parallelism, yeah.
It feels like a whole nother lifetime ago.
We did touch on, like, things going to change whether we liked it or not.
Yes. And that's more or less what I was referencing in the political aspect or some form of recreating your life into its greatest aspect is going to just be made available to you, and that's more or less what's taking place, you know. And has
Hmm.
everything kind of balanced out for you, or you know, as far as like working on the weekends, still is that still working out for you?
It is. It's it's like the same thing. It's germinating and growing, and because I get paid like every twice a month,
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
what I can look back on for the past 6 months where I've been doing this and like sort of like keeping my tongue in the middle of the mouth,
Hmm.
which is like a Danish expression meaning that you sort of walk the straight line
Right.
of my decision of doing this, and it's been steadily growing. So, it's balancing.
Right. And for me it's not grinding my teeth. So like if I feel my teeth are grinding, that means I'm not at peace. So I have to be
Yeah,
very
I know.
I and that's kind of me. Even when I'm sleeping, I
Uh,
know if I'm relaxed, if my teeth are separated, somewhat a gap. And if they're
yeah,
clenched, that means I'm tense and I need to kind of
yeah,
work that
yeah,
out, you know. And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. No, that resonates. I do the same. Huh.
to being everything
And
going
actually,
well in Denmark though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No coke,
Everything.
no
I think
no no
so.
Chris Brown.
No, this Chris Brown, and it's sort of create an opportunity to close the doors, so everything is on
Yeah.
close and social distancing, and this is all happening. And but this is for me, even as I face it in the reality, because I meet it at my workplace, and I'm going to be meeting it at my workplace.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
this is something that we just it's a blink in an eye, and to not be prepared and not be scared
Yeah.
means grounding both your feet
Yes.
and solid, like having root into the ground. And from then, the tree grows high, and even storm comes, it can still survive it. So
Right.
this is my sort of going into it.
I wanted to
I have one,
ask you one quick question. Have you been channeling the Pleiades at all?
you know, I it's funny because throughout my life I realize I have in some way, but it also scares me greatly when I do. So this is something I'm still working with, like sort of trusting that energy and the connection, because it really does
You
activate like deep, deep fear within me.
but you already doing it.
Huh.
You
I
already
have
doing
one last
it.
thing actually,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I
for
just
sure, for
realized
sure.
in the time that since we spoke, I realized that I have actually a nephew who is 23 8. Huh. And
Mm,
I have a greeting. I just heard his voice this morning. I spoke with my mother, and he said their house,
right,
um, because of homeschooling and everything.
right.
And I was just like, I was feeling like a strong, like sort of greeting connection. And I
Yeah.
just wanted to say that as well.
And the things that you were actually referencing, you know, the blink of an eye, right? You said
Hmm.
that, right? That's
Hmm.
atomos. Atomos is the atomic energy, and atomos could be referenced to in the Bible, when they say that the new world will come like a twinkling of an eye, in the blink of an eye. Everything will
Huh.
change, and we won't know that the world has completely changed fundamentally from a spiritual level. And so
Hmm.
these are things that you are actually channeling, but the idea, is more or less of recognizing and being more aware of what's actually happening. I don't know if you are or aren't, but you're definitely hitting on some major, major, major points of being.
And it's back to this tower energy again, the thunderbolt, the rising from the crisis, an atom being Adam, which is also in a sense the beginning, and maybe the beginning of a new sort of masculine clarity. I don't know,
It's the
this
beginning of
patriarch
every
thinking.
moment, but Adam, like Adam, but then Adam in the Bible, or Adam like a quantum particle, all of these things are
Hmm.
synonymous to a new day. And but
Hmm.
our perspective has to be small. It can't be large, because what how large can we actually be? The thing that makes sense is cellular or atomic and consciousness, which are
True.
microscopic subatomic particles, which are a part of us. So when we think about this thing, if we can scale our processes
Hmm.
down to maybe the
Hmm.
most minute detail and the most
To adding
indivisible
5 minutes
self.
of meditation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh. No,
and
but this will make big differences.
it makes the biggest difference. It makes the biggest. It is the biggest difference to just be indivisible, and not be able to be separated from anything past, present, or future, but really be atomic with our approach to life. And it might
Huh.
seem super scientific, but it's really, really natural if we just kind of let go. It's a really important time to let go because it's available to us to let go, though, too. So,
It is. It is. For me, like there's this. I was saying there's this thing passing over, but at the same time, because the energy is really speaking to awakening and really speaking to like this
yes,
is not a drill.
yes,
This is not a drill.
yes,
Like
yes,
all this talk we're
yes,
doing like now is the time to
yes.
to speak, but also to sort of just do
It's time
because
to
now the
act.
effect.
Okay.
And the seeds that we sow right now are so powerful, which is also
Yes.
why not to give over the power unconsciously.
Yes, and this is the time to make those moves, to do those things, to say like build those buildings, all of these things. And so that's the
Hmm.
scary part. Actually, that's really the terrifying, the most evil, gruesome part is to really do something different that you've been wanting to do, which is ironic. So
Yeah.
it's a ironic comedy horror movie if you ever
But
seen one
all
of
of this
those.
is, yeah. No, and it's funny because you were speaking about this movies during this past week, and I was thinking, what movie? And all of a sudden, I couldn't think of any movie except that, and I couldn't find the name of it. But this zombie movie thing with I think he's called. In the movie, there's a lady who has a leg which is like a machine gun, and it's sort of like a comedy, but dark comedy.
Is it
And
like where she's like a Chinese woman and like I think I know what you're talking about, and she has to kind of
uh,
like have a
and
gun
there's this.
in her, and then she like cuts the gun out of her stomach, and then like
It's
shoots
very
people.
dramatic. Yes, very dramatic and
Very
very over the
dramatic.
top. And
Yeah.
and this is the only movie that came to mind. And because you were putting out the question like what movie would you be? And I was like, well, if
Hell
that was the only
yeah.
movie that sort of
Go ahead, Sabine. Killing it. What's the name
but
of that movie? It's like the
maybe
machine gun
Zombieland, but
woman or
I don't
something.
know.
I'ma find it.
The
I'ma
guy,
find it.
this this American actor who's like a cowboy kind of character with a big car, and I think and it's just the drama and the comedy of it, and because I couldn't quite like take control of deciding like I want this movie. This movie was just sort of coming to me, and I was asking myself, so who would I be? And I was like, maybe the one at the subtitle, so like at the end of the titles, all these names passing by. I might be the one coming out of my house and being like, what happened? This was I was where I was at. Oh.
Man.
I
So
think it's called maybe Zombieland
you
or
said
something like this.
Zombieland? I know
Huh.
what movie you talking about, man. She's a gun.
But
The woman is
it
a
helped
whole
me sort
entire gun. And it's
exactly. She's sort of like a
but it's like a underground movie. It wasn't like you didn't see it in the theaters.
no. It went to straight cult status. I think this
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. Man.
Huh. And I don't know. It's just
Hmm.
because fear is easy to catch as a virus as well, and it just sort of helped me like just be like okay, and also to sort of keep my inner sort of prepper apocalypse, like
Hmm.
be
Hmm.
like okay, I'm gonna dig a hole in the ground, and I'm gonna just like this part of me. I thought okay, if I drag this movie into it somehow, I can even laugh at myself,
It's
and
called
laughter
Gun
seems
Woman.
disreleasing.
It's called Gun Woman. Gun
Uh
Woman.
huh.
Hmm.
There you go.
Gun Woman. It came out in 2014, and she just
Something like this.
that's a movie to live out for your ass though, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, Sabine.
Yeah. But I really just wanted to tap in and just send all of you, everybody listening, and you especially and your family, just
Hmm.
some good energy from here. And spring is coming, is the
Yes.
sound from the north.
Yes.
We're not there yet. We still want to wear our sweaters.
Yes. Yes. And we get in there, Sabine. I really appreciate you calling in and, giving me that feedback and things of that nature. I haven't heard from you in a second, but it's good to know that everything is copacetic and, you.
It is, and I'm still chewing on your reading. It took me like a few times to get into listening to the record without
Mm-hmm.
me being completely shocked out by the sound of my own voice.
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah.
And my laughs as well. Sort
Yeah.
of like, but and I'll come back to you on that as well.
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure,
wanted.
for sure. And take as much time as you need. And
Mm,
it's as the world changes and the readings that I gave to people, it makes sense now. So it's like if it never made sense, if you got a reading from me and it never really fully connected, now it makes sense because now you got the time, now you got the energy to focus on your spiritual shit. You
we
might have
do.
never
That's the
did it.
thing, man. This is the
Yeah.
blessing in disguise right now. Like
Exactly.
Chris Brown is holding space for us to actually get down and do these things. This whole bucket list of things we wanted to do.
Yes. Yes,
Huh.
yes. And
All right.
we knew that we were going to do it. That's the thing. It wasn't
Exactly.
never a point where we were fearful or doubtful. We were just waiting for
No,
the
no.
world to stop, and the world has stopped. So,
Huh.
we can now begin to move forward, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It is. All right. I'm gonna jump off again.
Nice. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you
Ah,
soon, Sabine. Have a great day.
you will. Bye
Peace.
bye.
Bye bye. I think Supreme Melanoidus was calling in and she hung up. Maybe the baby. There she go again. Yo, yo. You're not muted on my end. $571. You can talk now if you want to. 571. 571. You probably got your phone on mute or something. Dreamwise, you need to cut your mic on, bro. There you go.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You a Zoom professional. You gonna get it popping.
Say that is Sabine still on?
No, she had hung up.
She hung up.
Yeah, he was on
Yeah,
it. She was on it.
she was tapped in, huh?
Yeah.
I was like, God damn, she tapped in for real.
Yeah, she don't play. Like I ain't even. She was catching me off guard. Like she was catching herself off guard, man.
I'm talking about she do the Chris Brown and everything.
Everything. She was killing me.
She had me dying, dog. I was over here like, let me call her. Oh, shout out to that sister right there, man.
1,000.
What the? I was like, what the hell is going on? And then she kept on saying tapped in. I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm thinking that's a American kind of slang type of thing that we doing, you know what I'm saying? But she like, and I'm just tapped in. I'm like, okay, then get with the lingo then.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
You already know.
Across the planet, man. We is not playing.
You know what time it is. They already know like this thing is coming from the West. Yes. Everything is starting from the West, man. There's some gods and goddesses that's coming out the West.
1,000.
Like, that's so
awakening.
crazy.
And she said she had a nephew that was born on August 23rd.
Oh,
and
wow.
She was talking to him this morning.
Wow, that's deep. Yeah, she was on it, man. She was talking about themselves and stuff. That's important for real to understand that and how deep this rabbit hole actually goes, because your cells and these protons and neutrons and all that stuff is a part of you. This is your universe. So when you break this shit down to the smallest molecule, these atomic structures in your body, these atoms and all of that, is what's creating your universe. The thing that you say is your reality around you.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So that was important, man, to go within, man, and really program themselves to do what you say it to do. You feel me?
Right.
So yeah, that's huge. That's huge. That's why when you said let go, that is what this thing is about. Letting this bullshit go.
Man.
Telling you, family, if y'all don't, that letting go is the science.
Mhm.
Like I'm talking about in the aspect of just letting go of the force.
Right.
When I was saying power versus force,
Mhm.
I'm talking about the force is when you trying to basically try or
Okay.
be doing. You're in this doing state instead of like being. So when you go within, right, and you
Mhm.
do your work within, you doing all this work within every morning or whenever you do your work. Now when you get out of that, let that shit go. And then after you let it go, everything just start to fall in place. You'll just start to realize shit. You'll be like, damn. Things will just start coming to you in the most randomest times. So much power, man.
Man. And it's like that, but it starts
And
off
that,
at the reduction though. Like it's like if you start somewhere and you end somewhere, I think sometimes people get caught up on the ending power result. But I think if we can focus in on the beginning part, which is the quantum, which is the cellular reality, we can get to the end. But it's like, how can you help a person get to that beginning? Fuck the ending. You know what I'm saying? Like the ending is going to be there regardless, but how do you get a person to realize the beginning of the spiritual journey?
exactly. The ending is what the ending is ever folding. It's a never ending story. So
Whoa.
this ending is not going to be what you think it is. I'm gonna tell you some stuff that happened that's about to come into play with us off the live.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, the ending is not what you can logically see this thing as.
Go
This
ahead.
thing is
Go
this
ahead.
thing is illogical. This thing is
Go
not
ahead.
about this thing is not going to be in a B, C, D, E, F, G order. This
Go
thing is
ahead.
going to have loopholes, circles. You got to go around certain things, but you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You're not forcing it. That's what I mean when I say force.
Right.
You just walking in the flow.
Right.
What you walking in your power, which is what power is. You just know. The knowing is letting it go, and the letting it go is just stop worrying about that shit and watch it manifest in your reality. Watch it come out and work its way out in a whole nother scheme of things. Like this thing, man, I'm telling you, man, this science, all of this stuff is is uh is very simple once you slow down, but you just gotta
Go ahead.
understand what the
Go
trick
ahead.
is.
Go
And the
ahead.
trick is we've been mind controlled, mind fucked with the catch-22 to believe we got to work hard.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? That
Man.
school shit,
Oh shit.
that public school training stuff is what's actually in full effect. You
And
know what I'm
now that it's
saying?
breaking down because of the Chris Brown.
Right, right. But the public school training and the aspect of you got to do work, you got to do something physical, like uh, they want you to learn or memorize stuff, right? And then you got to put that shit on answer tests and documents and stuff like that.
Right.
But instead, that's backwards because that's using the brain. You're supposed to use your heart, and the heart is the real subconscious mind, the gateway to open everything up. That's why the Buddha, everything comes to him because he's in his zone. He's in his flow state. That
Right.
flow state is power.
Right.
It's power versus force. If you forcing still, then man, y'all got to go to my Patreon family. I'm telling you, it is going down. And I'm not saying that on some kind of, promoting shit. I'm just saying, like, the shit I'm putting on there is some power, is some understanding of how this whole thing breaks down in totality. Like, it's magic.
No, I
Not even
feel you.
magic, it's just power shit.
No,
For
I
real.
feel you because I've been thinking about just kind of going dark and just coming up with just different shit, like advanced shit, just for Patreon. And maybe you be interested, maybe you not, but because YouTube be player hating, like, so it get to a point where you just get tired of the shit and you just want to just keep it 1,000. So I
Man,
feel you. I feel you.
YouTube is shutting this thing down. YouTube,
1,000.
they got the I don't know what they doing with it. Seems like it's only conscious videos, but I'm gonna just not even say that because
Right.
I've seen a few that wasn't at the top. So it's like they're kind of, when you go live now, nobody ain't gonna know you live unless they click that, unless they get the notification straight off the jump. So that's why, family, y'all have to go click on the all
Yeah, the all
the
where
bell.
you hit the
On the
bell.
bell, you got to click on the bell and make it to all notifications. That way, when the motherfucker do go live, y'all can tap in. Like the lady was saying, she tapped in.
She tapped in Denmark. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And yeah, it's another thing that I was thinking, like, it could be a lot of it's a lot of there's a lot of disappearance of negative entities. Motherfuckers is getting wiped off. So when it comes to support, your support, which ain't really support, is a lot of agentry. I feel like if I have like 37 people on the live right now, it might be 37 real motherfuckers instead of like 90, and 37 be real motherfuckers, and then 60 be fucking agentry, not saying shit, not liking, not sharing, just there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, maybe maybe that part is gone, and so it don't look the same. But shit, obviously we got to figure out a way to do it just for the real motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
yeah, this is what it is. It's the chaos family. It's the chaos family. I got videos on my Patreon that I'm not gonna put out on YouTube for weeks,
right?
Because I'm gonna just feed the Patreon family, the people that fuck with me, the reciprocity thing, because the reciprocity is in full effect.
Right.
Because that's how this thing is gonna mess. That's how this thing is gonna put the put the ones who's in the know versus, because the money ain't shit. You see what I'm saying? It's not about it's about the energy exchange. I'm fucking with you, so we fucking with you. I'm fucking with you, so we exchanging this energy, and we just got to do it in a currency because that's the only way we transfer things in this day and time. But man, I'm telling you, the stuff that some of these builds, these people I've been connected with that we got going down, we transferring different stuff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you about it when we get off this thing, man.
Sure.
For real.
Sure.
It's going down.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's man, it's a powerful time for real, man.
It is.
And that lady that just came on, Sabine.
Sabine. That's
Powerful
funny.
lady, man.
You know how that's connected to Kobe? Kobe was raised in Ready. Ready is based upon Rhea. Rhea, the goddess Rhea, Rhea. The actual civilization that was in Ready, that was raised in Ready, they were known as the Sabians. But that's where Kobe was raised. Kobe wasn't raised nowhere but Ready. Rheti. But the Sabians was the word, they actually lived there before it was like Roman and papal. But the Sabians, they was women, they was goddesses, they was like black women. So yeah. So it gets there. But yeah, that Kobe shit is a never ending mythology. It seemed like I feel like I'm about to have to feel like I got to do like a documentary and go dark, because I just want to be able to understand the shit. You tied it into the Italian beef.
Yeah.
Like,
He got some kind of so this whole thing is a whole nother uh uh spectrum that we got to look at this thing from, because the clues and the codes are there.
yeah,
We got to just decode the codes. That's all it is. And it's not even code, because I'm tired of saying that decoding this shit.
right,
It's just our native language. Once you're in tune with your higher self, you start seeing this thing from a cosmic level. Instead of thinking from an intellectual brain level,
right.
you got to think of this thing from a whole totality of a holistic approach to this thing. Like, some things just ain't gonna make sense, common sense like that. But
Right,
it's gonna ring a bell to you. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And the ones that understand this 823 God energy is the ones that's gonna grab, that can see the codes, and they just have to turn on by plugging in their power battery and turn it on.
right,
And then how do you do that? With your mind.
right.
This thing is a whole man.
And that's the crazy part. When you hold on to that resonance of changing it from your heart, mind, electromagnetic frequency, you actually see this world changing. And now, because the world changing, the regular motherfuckers, they all here panicking. But shit, I'm like, shit, I've been waiting for this shit my whole entire life. Like, this was the reason I'm even incarnating in this space and time. It's go time. It's time to figure shit out. So, with that being said, man, time to charge up. It's time to really charge up and take it to the next level. Yesterday was like a culmination of something. It was an ending of something, and today represents a new beginning of something as well. So, these perpetual cycles happen all the time. It's just being in tune with them and tapped in. From Denmark to Houston to Ohio, I just appreciate to be able to tap in with different parts across the whole entire globe. Showing
Yeah.
motherfuckers that the whole point of this conversation was to have like normal conversations to show like motherfuckers is straight, because like I feel that people be low key panicking and shit. But I'm talking to people all over the world and they just like, regular degular. So it's like
Well, let's even look at today, man. What's today's date?
the 20th. That's 23.
Yeah, it's
320.
23.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but 3, 20, 20, 20, right?
Right.
That's that third eye. That's that third eye vision. We coming in line. This thing is all in line. Look, it's in alignment. I'm showing you right now.
Right.
3 2020s.
Yeah,
So that
three
means you got
2020s.
exactly. So so
Three
that means I
20s.
can see clearly now. It's opened up.
Yeah.
The portal is here. Like,
Yeah.
shoot, come on. This is it today. So shit, power up today. Use this date and power up your third eye so you can see what's going on.
Right.
Because it's a magic time right now, for real.
Right. Yeah, bro. It's definitely like a portal coming into like, that golden eye scope where it be like 3 different points and then they come into a center and then it's like, boom, you can see the target. So in that confusion of like focusing seem blurry, but until it get actually okay, that's what it is. So yeah, you help me understand that. You help me understand that.
And I'm telling you, me and D Ray, we everything, these numbers, license plates, we done lost our mind, because everything we do, it be fucking 10-10. We'd be like, walk through that gateway. We just now it's automatic. So now we close our eyes and get into our visualization in certain random times. Especially if we catch the number 1111, you gotta close your motherfucking eyes. Stop what you doing. I don't care if you're driving. Nah, I'm playing. If you driving,
If you driving, nigga, just close your eyes. Fuck it, make a
no, you
wish.
can keep it. You can keep them open. You can keep
Yeah,
them
for
open and
sure,
be like,
for
"Oh
sure,
yeah, it's 11:11.
for
I'm in my
sure.
zone." You know what I'm saying? You can visualize at that time whatever your intention is in the mindset that you are, because that's power. When you see these power codes come online, you're like, "Oh shit,
Me
let
and
me
my
walk
wife,
through
we
this gateway."
slow, bro. We keep the clock in the car wrong. Like we don't know what clock. Like that clock is so fucked up. It be, but we use it as a sign to keep up with the numerology for spirit to speak to us. for whenever we look at the clock, it could be 11:11. That could be the message. Shit, it could be 5:20 for real. But our clock is retarded. Like,
oh yeah, we got some wrong clocks. We got some wrong clocks. I'll be like, hey, what you talking about? Like her car, when she be in the car, sometimes we be talking and she'll be like, oh, it's 11:11. Tap in. Her shit like 7 minutes fast. I'm like, babe, we gotta fix that clock. But I'll be like, all right, babe, well, let's do it anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah.
And I just walk through that gateway with her because she's seeing it and she's already in a zone in a channel where she explaining something to me that she just felt. And then boom, 11:11 pops up, and I'm looking at my clock. It's fucking 11:02.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? But okay, I guess you in the zone. So
right.
She'll be like, she'll just be talking and she's like, and it's 11:11. And I'll be like, what, nigga?
No, it ain't. It don't be.
but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's going down, man.
For
So
sure.
yeah, today is definitely Third Eye Day. Third Eye, Friday, Third Eye Friday. So shit, tap in with this third eye activation. Get into them binaural beats. Get into a meditation where you taking up your light to your third eye and you just feeling your shit buzzing.
Hold on, Dream. Because you got 20/20 for your two eyes, but then you got an additional 20 for your third eye. And so the third eye is the 3 for the March, and that 20 is for the clarification of that third eye, because you already got the 20/20 vision that's established in the fucking year.
That's what I'm saying, Hood. Bruh. That's what today is.
Bruh.
That's what I was talking about, yeah. Yeah, we tapped in like the lady.
That's crazy. That's crazy right there. That's something that I gotta really sit and meditate on after this, bro.
It's in alignment, Hood. This is what today is. I'm telling you, see, the people that's gonna receive this message is gonna make this thing happen. Look, I'm gonna give y'all a meditation right now to do. See the light, travel up to your third eye. Do it for 20 minutes. Do that shit 3 times if you have to. You know what I'm saying? And from your root chakra to your third eye, and just constantly see it all the way up your spine. You know, you see it spiraling up your spine to your third eye. Bing. And every time it hits your third eye, it's like a buzzer. Bing. And then you just drop it back down. You will literally feel your pineal shake. I promise you, you'll feel like your head shaking. You'll be like, oh shoot, that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out of this, people got to get out of this mindset. Nah, this ain't it. No, because that's still the human. We not human, we gods. We got to think of ourselves as eternal beings forever, this infinite loop, this 8. So tap into that, because you got to go all the way back down to the root, which is the 8, and come all the way back up. Infinitely doing this thing until your bell rings, and then you be like, damn. So yeah, y'all do that meditation today. Don't think about nothing else. Don't worry about nothing else. Just concentrate on that light rising up, hitting your third eye, coming back down, you know, to the root, and coming right back. And just do that, man. And then watch what'll happen. I just dropped the video just this morning while you was on this morning on my Patreon, explaining the significance of this whole thing. Damn, I forgot what the video was about. Oh no, it was called I called it something.
Dropping videos like Death Row.
Yeah, you can't pose a question if you don't already know the answer or some shit like that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a power video, family. So tap into that.
Right.
Real.
Man.
Yeah, but whenever you done, Hood, because I got some more stuff for you off the live.
Sure.
We're gonna dive into some things, because things is happening, things is lining up to where the thing is a power play, and if you don't make a move quick, then it's like you say, a blink of an eye, this shit will catch you, and you'll be a zombie slave still, because you ain't been going within, you still working without the hard way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, go see that movie Princess and the Frog. That shit was
Man.
power. All this damn hard work. That was the subconscious plan they wanted y'all to feel, because they wanted y'all to understand that they want Black people to work hard.
Yeah.
That's why. But we don't have to work hard because it's already innately us. It's our divine birthright. You know what I'm saying? So tap in.
Definitely. We don't have to work hard because we got, the whole animal planet, the whole spiritual planet, and some forms of the human planet that work for us. We just need to tap into that power. And, it's kind of like one of those days where your door is open for you, food hot and ready as soon as you walk in, your table nice and clean. Here's your table, Mr. Wise.
Exactly.
just that normal, everything planned out and worked out in your favor, and just, walking in that light, because that's really what it's about. And we had that opportunity to continue forming that reality. However, it's just like, people even aware to it or not, but we got to continue the conversation, because like all things, people easily forget it. So that's why it's important to join the Patreon page. So you gonna get them alerts in your email. You ain't gonna be able to forget. You signed up for this. You paid for this. You about to be reminded of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that repetition where people might get aggravated about, but it's necessary, because the repetition on the alternate way, where it's confusing and undermining you, mind control, they repetitive as fuck with that shit. So, the consciousness got to be inversely balanced, not repetitive where it's all the time, every day, 24 hours, but shit, once a day, an hour a day, 30 minutes a day of getting your mind straight and consciously collected, you know what I'm saying? Or having a tapped in session where you can express yourself. These things is powerful, bro.
Facts on facts. For real. Yeah, man.
D-Ray and the children straight.
Yeah, they in the bedroom right now. Somebody sound like they about to come out the room. I don't know what they doing, but yeah, they in the bedroom right now, still asleep.
Chilling.
Hey, KJ, go to the restroom. Yeah, so they doing their thing, man. Nice. We chilling. The rain is here, so nigga can't go outside and get the sun today. So shit, they better take them vitamin D. Vitamin D pills.
Okay.
Then vitamin D and what's that shit called? Vitamin D and H, whatever that shit is. That vitamin D, we need that. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna take that. We're gonna power up like that. No doubt. Hey, come here. But all right, then, Hood. Yeah,
all right,
we'll
Dream. Enjoy the family. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, peace.
Peace out. Miss Love and Life, you there? Miss Love and Life. B12. Miss Love and Life. Scream one time. Say, there you go.
Good morning.
There you go.
Let me step out of my office now. I was working and waiting.
Okay. Yeah, I apologize. The first time I couldn't hear you.
Okay. That is okay. I'm just 2 seconds. Hold on. Sorry.
Take your time.
Can't let everybody hear the conversation up in here. After today, I will be working from home. So
okay.
I won't have that issue. But
is that a good thing?
Right,
you feel good about that? Or?
Oh, it's a good thing.
Okay, awesome.
Well, my position is actually a remote position anyway. I work for a major pharmaceutical company. I'm a physic here, so I'm a non-essential employee. So technically, I could have worked at home, but I like to be outside. I don't like to be confined in the 4 doors, 4 walls, 4 cars, boxes all the time. So I do like to come out and speak to the people. But what I was going to talk to you about today was I'm in Atlanta. I haven't been worried about this coronavirus. I'm just taking it just like any other day. So it hasn't scared me. I've just basically, tried to tell my family not to panic, not to worry, and just stock up, just prepare. I'd rather be prepared and not scared. So that's the vibe with me right now in Atlanta.
Uh-huh.
My kids are home. I have a 19-year-old senior, 16-year-old, she's a junior, so they're home just chilling,
Right.
doing homeschool. And that's another thing that I don't have to work with them on is homeschool because they do their own thing. So I'm lucky in that case.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky I'm still employed
Mm-hmm.
because I do have a lot of friends and family around me that are not employed or can't afford daycare or can't go to work, can't homeschool their kids because
Right.
they're in school. So it's a real struggle on that end, but I'm grateful.
Right.
So yesterday I got a call
Mm-hmm.
from a group of my friends. And this is what I want your perspective on.
Mm-hmm.
They were wanting to do a ritual, a spell. And
Okay.
so once I got off the line, I'm listening. And I do have a Christian background, although I'm not Christian. I would say I'm spiritual. I've evolved from that type of philosophy.
Sure.
But I still hold the principles. I still read the word and go to it to just confirm things and use it as a source.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And so after this live or conversation, it just pierced my spirit. Like, does everybody need to be doing magic? And then I just had these thoughts come into my mind about just culture. I went back to thinking about David and just certain things in the Bible and how only certain people had these gifts. There were certain people who could see into the future. So even in voodoo, you would only go to your witch or, the shaman. Not everybody had that gift to do that. So I did not participate.
Mm-hmm.
One reason is because I was like, I just didn't, I wasn't receiving the energy. I don't know, something just didn't sit right with me.
Sure.
And which made me start thinking, with the internet being here and just a lot of things online, to me, I feel like it's someone's messing with, like too many people are messing with the pot that shouldn't be in the pot, if you get what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I still go back to only certain ones had that permission to do it. Like you had to be born to have those like visions. You just don't. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you have psychics who go to school to do this.
Sure.
And they train just like a doctor. You have to go to school to be a doctor.
Sure.
Someone is teaching you this philosophy.
Sure.
But when I say a born gift, it's like a natural, like a clairvoyance. So I don't feel like everybody should be participating in magic or in spell work.
Sure.
I hope I kind of said that right.
You did. It'll be like so Lock and Key, right? One of the first things that happened in Lock and Key, if you ever seen that on Netflix, the kid.
I have.
Okay, the kid gets the key, and the first thing he does, right, is go where? To the ice cream parlor. That's a message in that to say that if you aren't mature for this actual energy, you'll just do stupid shit like get ice cream. So that within itself, there has to be a maturity of this actual modality that one calls magic. And if you resonate at that level, you just gotta kind of seek out a different set of spiritual people that understand that, because it seems like you hold a high resonance, and maybe your resonance shows up interesting. It shows up in the career space, like the normal everyday folk. Like you could go into jobs or work and be, hi, my name is Lisa, so forth and so on. And then you could go in the magical circles and kind of get busy in that respect too. So, you got to kind of understand the superhero nature or the God-like nature in yourself and begin to articulate this to your people in a truthful manner, not a judgmental manner, but you need to begin to profess maturity in the people that you know. And say, for instance, you say that to a group of 5 people, 2 people is gonna wake some shit up in them, and they're gonna understand that, okay, maybe I need to mature in my magical approach. 3 people is gonna look at you like, she don't know what she talking about, or maybe they'll come around later in the thing. But you gotta, I think, in the whole grand scheme of thing, is you learning how to speak your truth and step into your power, step into your super
Yeah.
Heru, right? You are a super Heru, you are a Netter, you are Orisha, you are all of these things, but the next phase of this is learning how to kind of, formulate, a persona around it, or a
Mm.
costume. I'm just using like the superhero analogy and things of this nature. So it's not to
Yes.
go, that it's not, that people are not supposed
I
to
know
go
where you're
to
going
ice
with it.
cream. And
Hmm.
these things, so it's expressing
And
these
that's kind
things.
of how I felt.
Hmm.
I'm like, and a few of them on the line I didn't know. So
Hmm.
I personally feel like sometimes when I'm tapping in with other people, that I might be tapping into energy that I don't want to deal with,
Right.
or that I'm not ready for. Like I don't want to deal with that. Or I might tap into you and this energy like a succubus,
Hmm.
like just takes all of. I've had that happen to me before.
I've seen it
Um,
happen too many
you know,
times.
just in a group, and I saw it just come
Yeah.
right out. I'm like, did y'all see that shadow?
Yeah.
They're like, no. I'm like, okay, gotta go.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna work here. But so that's the kind of energy that I got yesterday. Like, who gave you this
Hmm.
permission? And I
Yeah.
was questioning, this person. Like, I didn't question them, directly, but in my mind, I'm like, who gave this person this position? So, but then I also have one more thing, which is quite interesting. I fast periodically. I
Hmm.
do 90-day fast where I just no meat. So what's going on right now? I could really like live off of one meal a day. My
Hmm.
body is kind of used to eating one meal a day or eating lettuce, leafy foods.
Hmm.
This past 2 months, right before December, I did a 7-day fast. And
Hmm.
I asked God to, remove something out of my way, which I would say drinking for me is, I say it's a bad habit, even though I like can drink a bottle a day.
Hmm.
At night, maybe one or two glasses. Sometimes it gets good. I can finish a bottle. To
Hmm.
me, in my mind, that's like a borderline alcoholism if you do drink every day. I know people be like, no, you're not an alcoholic because you can maintain without drinking. You don't wake up drinking. So I don't do any of that. I can go days without drinking, but I enjoy it. So
Hmm.
this was one thing that I just wanted to cleanse my spirit of. Just say, hey, I want to give myself a break, no drinking. So I said, 7 days, God, no drinking for me. I'm going to go 7 days, which I haven't done 7 days in a long time.
Hmm.
At the end of that 7th day, I saw a fly in my house. I never get flies because
Hmm.
I think that's kind of like nasty. If I see a fly, I don't get flies. Just to make a long story short, I don't get flies. So
Hmm.
never had a fly in my house. Um, I saw one fly. Then I started seeing 2, 3 flies. I go downstairs. I'm in a 3rd level townhouse. This is on the 2nd level. Because I'm on the 3rd level when I see this fly. So I'm coming downstairs in the kitchen, like, where are these flies coming from? Do you know that my window was covered with flies? I'm like, where did the flies come from? And the only thing when I sat in meditation was what I requested to get rid of something out of my spirit. I'm like, so it came out in a fly? Like, was that a
Hmm.
spirit? It was really weird, but I never had flies in my house.
Hmm.
After this 7-day fast, flies.
Hmm.
I mean, just plastered in one window.
Hmm.
So I was like, what was that about? Have you ever heard of things like that?
Have I ever heard of
I've
anything
never
like
had
that?
I've never
Nah.
had flies before this. Never had flies in my house.
It
It's
sounds like the first
common.
story and the second story is related, and I'll tell you why.
Hmm.
It sounds like shadow work. Shadow work. The first story is shadow work within groups. When women get together, the assumption is, and excuse me for being frank, that everybody is perfect, right? And
Okay.
so the reality is that there is no perfection because there's a grouping of women. There has to be some shit that needs to be hashed out, some honesty and truth within the relationship that a person might not like, and you'll have to handle it without running away. And these types of things, and if you say the truth, that person gets triggered and they run away and they ruin the group and things of that nature. So there has to be some psychological evolution within your group, or y'all will do the same thing every day, and that stagnation you'll feel it, you'll see it. And then shadow work in your home begins to be what you don't like, and setting your life up based upon everything that you don't like. And that was, once the alcohol gets taken away, now you have to deal with everything that you don't like. So the fly is just a symbol of everything that you don't want to deal with, and why
Wow.
alcohol is the actual modality for which you will go to when you have to actually deal with some real shit.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, so
Facts. Fucking facts.
mhm.
I just lost $2,500 this week out of nowhere, and that was the first thing. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get me a drink. I didn't even drink.
Right.
So when that night I meditated, I had to help myself. I said, "Oh, you upgrading now, huh?"
Hmm.
Because it didn't trigger me. I was like
Right.
unbothered,
Right.
unfazed, like whatever. Like let's go.
Because you was in a high
But
place.
I would.
You ain't gonna want to drink when you in
Mhm.
a high place. It's like kind of those low
Mhm.
moments, but it's not gonna hit the same way. And that's kind of what our
Yeah.
addictions show us. Like every addiction that we have, whether it's food, alcohol, weed, cocaine, whatever the case may be, is something that we use
Wow.
as a crutch for our
Mhm.
deepest, darkest sadness. And and we might not look at it as that, but when you study addiction is most related to um desperate conditions. It's not really
So do
like a
you
point
think
of
that?
where you're happy and then you're addicted. Nobody's happy and
Mhm.
addicted. But go
Mhm.
ahead.
Mhm. Facts. Facts. Well, sometimes I do a happy drink, but I get where,
No, I
I get
mean,
where you're
yeah,
going.
yeah,
It's not a
we can
celebration, but most of the
celebrate.
times it's in distress.
Yeah, yeah, it's stressful why
Mhm.
I,
Mhm.
divulge in things that I divulge in, or vices, not because I'm happy. That's that's just
Mhm.
me being honest,
Mhm.
but go ahead. You were saying something?
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say. So, in other words, once I did this fast, being the shadow work before with my friends, and then doing my own personal shadow work, those could have. Because in my mind, I'm like, so this was probably things that released out of me, but in
Mm,
a fly type of metaphoric sense,
yeah.
it was just really weird. That again, like I've never had flies in my house after this 7 day fast, day seven. Boom. And I resonate with sevens because of
Mm,
my kid's father. A lot of sevens play a whole lot in my life. So on that seventh day that happened to happen, and it just freaked me out. So now with you saying that, me dealing with myself, those were probably the releases of maybe the, that entities, or just emotional things that I had to let go.
thought forms, negative thought forms, and so
Mhm.
negative thought forms are accumulated over the period of times of perceived negative
Mm.
things. So negative things aren't always negative things. Sometimes negative things are lessons that are necessary for advancement or ascensions
Mm.
or initiations and things of
Understand.
that nature. So when we just simply look at these things as evil or negative and things of that nature, it has to have some form of transformation. And what others better symbol for transformation than a fly, which turns from a
Yeah.
flying object from like a maggot, and it lives off of your
Ah,
shit. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So
Like that's
it
why it
literally
grossed me out and
survives
kind of
off your
scared
shit.
me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It
As
wouldn't
I was
be
like, I don't know
there.
if I want to open up and tell him that. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, what the
No.
hell was that about? But I wanted to get your perspective on it
No.
because it's something that I've never like really opened up about, because to me it was just the most disgusting thing. Like,
But see, it's
What the
not
hell is that
though. But
about?
it's not though. It's the perception of that feeling being in you of the most disgusting thing, of something that for which you need to kind of pinpoint and find and deal with, because that could be a block to seeing life in totality, uh if that makes
Mhm.
sense, because the fly ain't disgusting. Of course the fly is disgusting, but the symbology is
Mhm.
indicating something deeper, to dive deeper into finding
Yeah,
out
very much.
what in your psyche is that disgusting thing,
Mm.
and somehow dealing with
Mm.
that or wiping that away, because somehow somebody as a child, somebody trained you up in that thought and
Mm.
the person
Mhm.
connected to that actual thought, it might be a message. It could be like a grandmother cleaning the
Mhm.
house, like, if you ever see a fly, that's the most disgusting
Wow.
thing, and and that being implanted, so the fly then connects you to the idea of something being disgusting,
Mhm.
which then connects you to that ancestor. So, after the seven
Mhm.
day fast, you get your gift, you get your boon. In Hindu they call it tapsaya, and tapsaya is a meditation, a elongated meditation for a boon, for something in return. So your return was those
Mhm.
flies, which was a message from whoever taught you about flies. Maybe it could be an uncle, granddad, grandma, somebody like that.
Interesting. I've just always represented flies with, like you say, eating shit. That's the only time you
Mm-hmm.
see these flies around, with nastiness, dirt,
Mm-hmm.
filth. So
Mm-hmm.
that's weird. I grew up. A fly in the house is disgusting. Get that fly up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Or something dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true,
Something dead.
true.
So when I saw it, it was almost like I felt like it could have been a rebirth based off of what I was requesting or the things that I was experiencing at that time.
Definitely, it
Like
could
it was
be
like a death of
past self,
something.
past self, or
Mhm.
an ideology of yourself that the flies could kind of center around, like a dead body or something like that. Like you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
That's what I, not necessarily nasty. I looked at it as almost like a sign of, yes, nasty, but also like a death. Like,
Hmm.
because that's, Mhm.
Attracts fly. Death attracts flies, but ancestors
Mhm.
attract flies, and there's a memory there though. There's not. It's not
Mm.
something that's not just like a coincidence or something. It should trigger a distinct, clear memory, and may be connected to a person, time, place, or an event that will actually give you the message. So the deeper that you go
Okay.
within your Akashic records and your meditation or your dreams, or maybe even in the future, flies will indicate
Mhm.
something, but you got to understand how psychic you are. So it's like, even if it's a movie or something and you see these flies in the movie, what do they call that? They call that foreshadowing. So once you see, you've already
Mhm.
been consciously programmed to see the flies. So um this having a deep
Wow.
impact on your
Okay.
psyche, then it gives you more of a predisposition to it. And the more that you say
Mhm.
nasty, disgusting, you're, to me, and I could be wrong, but it might seem as though you're blocking the actual transmission for which is taking place.
Mm.
Because if
Okay.
it's nasty
Understood.
or if it's disgusting, then that's just the end of the story. I'm not dealing with nothing nasty
Mhm.
or disgusting. I'm not
Mhm.
touching it.
I,
Ew, ew.
mm,
So.
I think that's why you just got that last piece out of me, as far as the death part.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
True.
that's most of the time, yeah. So it was like a dying of something
Mm-hmm.
within me.
Mm-hmm.
So let me remove my word choice is wrong
Yeah.
as
And
far
I
as
think this
nasty
is
and disgusting. Yes.
completely spiritual and not physical at all. So,
Mhm.
in the
I
realms of
agree.
nasty and disgusting, I'm not talking about physical, I'm not talking about your house. I'm sure that you are 10,000 times cleaner than me. I can never reach your level. So, it's not even about that type of deal. Like, that's
Mhm.
thrown out the window. It's Mrs. Clean, if it was ever a thing. Like, if that was a brand, if that was a product, it'd be your picture on the goddamn logo.
Well, I
So
do have
we're
OCD.
yeah, we're not
But yeah.
talking about cleanliness, when we
Correct.
reference disgusting or we reference dirty or nothing like that. It's spiritual and is more of a memory. It's a thing that's very tangible that might need to kind of be notice. That the flies bring notice to what's actually decaying, because like, okay, the flies is there. You know what I'm saying? So maybe throughout that like I said, throughout that cleansing and detox, you are brought awareness to something that's gotta kind of be exercised or alchemized. And that's kind of how I
Yeah,
would see it. But then again,
definitely. And I haven't cultivated. It's just been on my mind, like, what was that about? And so that's why I said, let me see if I could get Hood's perspective on this, because, I mean, I haven't been drinking the way I used to since then. And again, like I said, it's just, at night, before bed or whatever. But
right,
I haven't had the lust, shall I say,
right.
since that. Since that. So I find it, like a to be a rebirth.
And what
And
I
then there's
was
other levels.
Yeah, and that's what I would say. And what I would say is, as
Mhm.
you progress in the ascend, you would just imagine that as you progress and you ascend, there's no even reason why you would even go back to those places that you came back from. It's not the fact
Mhm.
that you were alcoholic. It's just more or less of the side effects of ascension. However, as you go up these levels of ascension, the actual vices and things of that nature, where it comes to food, drink, all of these things
Mhm.
that we've discussed, they become no longer of a necessary, because you just
Correct.
operating from a different electromagnetic sphere. So as this,
Energy. Mhm.
yeah, this new energy is heart centered. So as you reference the heart, you get more prosperity, because the heart is electromagnetic. So you reference $2,500 coming out of nowhere, and that's magnetizing money to you. And is different vibrations. You don't need anything, no liquor or anything to celebrate it, because the heart is
Mhm.
a whole different substance. It's a whole
Exactly.
different vibration now. You know what I'm saying? So you just
It
walking
almost
into it.
feels that's so true, because basically now I'm listening to you and I'm just diving a little bit deeper. Like,
Hmm.
I could see that even in the drinking, it was my spirit was gone, So I understand that's why the reason why they call alcohol spirits,
Hmm.
because
Yeah,
I was really removing myself to some degree and still trying to be this higher, but you can't be two of the same when you got one negative and positive. That's how I was
yeah,
feeling.
it
Like,
would be
you can't
zero.
be this. You can't. Mhm. So now it feels like more of a balance. But
Hmm.
I just had wanted to mention that with the flies, it was, really interesting. And I'm going to continue to dive deeper into that and ascend on a higher level. So I'll be tapping in with you again to let you know my progress. I've been also using my workbook this week. Ever since that last live, I was like, you know what, I have to set at least 15, 20 minutes. Never mind school. And right before I go to bed, drop a couple of lines in my book.
And look
So
at the money, and
I
look at
have
the
been
money
doing that.
magnetizing. Look at the money magnetizing. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, that
Well,
it,
I
it
lost the money, but I wasn't bothered. Like, I
yeah.
went and tried to get my son a car and got duped as is, but that's a whole nother
Oh wow.
conversation. These people not trying to, yeah, I lost my case this week. So it's like I drove 4 days for a car. Y'all get to keep my $2,400. Then I turned back around and went to Volkswagen and actually bought him a car with warranty. So I got like stuck. I
Hmm.
put down a down payment and then I lost 24. So it was like, but I didn't get mad. I was just like, you know what? That's all right. And then I got a check for 1985. So it
That's
it kind of like
I
balanced
kind of was
out.
thinking that, like, I know it wasn't like just all
Yeah.
losses. You know what I'm saying? So
No, it came right back.
sure, sure, sure. And all I can say is just continue to flex this muscle, right? We're
Okay.
growing in our consciousness, in our clear sentience, and just understand that a lot of people are working for you and in your favor. Um, literal and illiteral,
Hmm.
logical and illogical. Just kind
Back.
of really level up and realize that throughout this conversation we've been referencing ascension, and so ascension comes with different types of perks. when you know you don't ascend for no reason. So imagine the good things that come along with this ascension, and just accept it. And then you got so much to be grateful for, even in this conversation. Just kind of just sharing this energy with you, in this time and space. It's just like you are an admirable person. So find that
Definitely. So
admirability within yourself. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I appreciate you too. At first, it used to be the Steve Harvey Strawberry Letter in the mornings, but nobody gets my attention until Hood goes off. So facts on that. It's Hood in the morning. When you don't come on, I'm like, where are you? Checking my YouTube, and I'm not like social distance doesn't mean anything to me because I've been thinking, but I'd be looking to see when you gonna turn on that live, what time. So I appreciate you, and I look forward to you in the morning. And thank you. Bless you and your family, and y'all be safe and have a good day.
You too. Talk to you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, man. People be tapped in all over the world, all over the planet, like respectable, highly advanced, sentient beings tapped in. And, I'm just a young man from Ohio and things of that nature, and I'm just kind of doing this study and doing this observation. So I just wanted to have this little share and little build and kind of let people listen to others and not just really do the rambling hood mystic shit today, and just kind of really tap in. Shout out to DA, shout out to Dreamwise, shout out to Sabine, shout out to Miss Love and Life for making this show epic. And be sure to tune in Saturday or Sunday. We're going to go in with the new moon video, followed by a new moon meditation that's going to rock the socks off the whole entire planet. You do not want to miss it. So be sure to subscribe. And if you subscribe, hit the notification bell and don't click personalize, click all. So every time I go live, you'll be notified. And even if you're not notified, connect with me on Instagram, listen to me on Spotify, SoundCloud. And if all else fails, email me, join the Slack. There's so many ways to keep in contact with a brother. You shouldn't have no excuse. I even give you my goddamn phone number out here. So, stay tapped in, stay in contact. If this type of content matters, I try to pride myself on presenting people content that's never heard or never before presented, and keeping this shit constant, daily, repetitious consciousness, soul work, transformation, alchemy, for the melanated population throughout the planet. And with all of that being said, I'm signing out. Everybody have a wonderful day, wonderful weekend. It's been a powerful week of daily energy readings, and I think Fridays is going to be the day where we do mostly tapped in. So peace to y'all, and I'll see y'all on the flip side.
You are in with Hood in the morning. Call in now.